A very good morning to everyone. Good morning, Dr. Florence. Ijizake, good morning. All right. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. Originally known as writers, has achieved many accomplishments in their field of writing. And please join me welcoming Dr. Florence and Ijizake today. Give them a round of applause. Okay, well, Dr. Florence and Ijizake, I have to give you two important things before we start the program for today. First thing, what is the motive and what is the main aim we are doing this program today? The second thing, I just have to give you a little bit of introduction about Valinam. Is that okay? Can I start? All right, thank you. Okay, the main aim and concern of this forum is to introduce Chinese and Malay contemporary literature among our honorable guest of Valinam. So that's our main intention. So we are the very basic learner of Chinese and Malay literature. So we would like to know more about it actually. And then the effort of Valinam group of introducing Chinese and Malay literature today is the reflection of humanity. And it's a way for us to understand each other better. By listening to the voice of another person, such as Dr. Florence and Ijizake, I guess we can begin to figure out how and that individual particularly think about literature. So I believe literature is a solid platform for ongoing conversation through novels and creating a social understanding. So that is our main motive. Here you go, you have to know a little bit of Valinam. Okay, all right. I would like to pull both of your attention. Valinam basically started to operate in 2007. It was quite a long time ago. It was a very long journey. So Valinam usually operates in 3 different platforms. Okay. Firstly, their prime job is honoring the very senior creators. Okay. And for this, the Valinam award worth 5,000 ringgit is given to senior writers for every 3 years once. Valinam also extended their effort by directing documentaries. A lot of documentaries about senior writers. Forums on the works of senior creators have been also integrated as well. So their short stories have been translated into English. So for the public view, right? This is the main and primary work has been done by Valinam. Second platform. There are indeed workshops for the young creators, the upcoming young creators are regularly conducted as well. So they are enlightened with these introductions of serious literature. So I can include myself as a young reader as well. So for this, the Valinam award worth 2,000 ringgit is given to young writers every 3 years once. So they also do that. And the last primary job the Valinam used to do, the books of contemporary authors are published and they are taken to other countries where Tamil is the medium of reading and communication. So apart from literature, Valinam also extended their wings to set up a suitable domains for those who are skillfully talented in other side of arts, such as painting, photographies, and dramas, and so on. So the main reason for these 3 initiatives has been taken by Valinam is to promote Malaysian Tamil literature. And they wanted to create a very unique space for itself. So according to writer Naveen, he said that Valinam has seen some success in it. So we can give him a round of applause actually. He did an amazing work. Thank you to our writer Naveen. And for almost 18 years, Ijizake, we've been working together as individuals with a passion for the work that supposedly government funded, what they're supposed to do, literally organizations, right, they should do, But so this is one of our extended program. It's a proven work that we are conducting higher literature performances through Valinam. So would you like to ask me any questions before we begin? That's all? Well, okay. Before we start the program for today, I would like to give a very short introduction about our honorable guest, Dr. Florence. Dr. Florence, you have to add me if I goes wrong in any way. Okay, thank you, Dr. Florence. Okay, Dr. Florence is a senior lecturer at the Department of Chinese Studies, Faculty of Arts, Social Science in University Malaya. Second thing I have to tell about Dr. Florence is in she lectures Mahua literature. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Okay, well then. Mahua literature, contemporary Chinese literature, and research methodology. Okay. Her research focuses include Malaysian literacy studies, and also literacy criticism, and educational research as well. So she also involved in translation work in Malay, English, and also in Chinese language. That's awesome work then. Her latest translation journey focuses on many fields. Particularly, I would like to highlight the main three things here. We don't have enough time, Dr. Florence. Okay, her English translation for 80 poems, 80 years of poetry anthology of Malaysian Chinese literacy, Lai Choi. And then the Malay translation for award-winning novelist Ng Kim Chew's Hujan Renyai-Renyai, and many more. So, would you like to add anything, Dr. Florence? Did I miss anything? Okay, right then. So, now I would like to invite Dr. Florence to give out her speech on contemporary Chinese literature in Malaysia. Welcome, Doctor.
Vanakkam. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for having Zakir and me. Yeah, actually Valinam is known, you know. I was talking to Puan Zaleha, who works with us on translation of Hong Lo Mong, Dream of a Red Mansion. And she said, I said I'm going to meet a Tamil literary community in Tanjung Malim. She said, Valinam, right? Yeah. You are known. So, and I have to go to the site to find out a little bit more about you. And when Mr. Naveen actually texted me, I immediately say yes, even though I didn't know I have to, because somehow during the communication, it was said transportation will be provided. Then I'm like, I have to drive myself. I'm a bit scared already because I normally don't drive anywhere. Okay, but I'm here with you, and may it be a good time. Okay, today I'd like to share with you the Malaysian Chinese literature. Just now I heard Malaysian Indian literature, right? So the short form we call it Mahua. And actually, when I heard from Lava, right? She wanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm like, then I told her immediately, this is a 14-week class, which I'm starting on Monday. I also lecture Mahua literature and get people to do a lot of things during the semester. But today I will give you a little bit of here and there. And if anything more you think is helpful to your understanding of Malaysian Chinese literature, and if there is any particular thing that strikes you at the right chord, you say, I want to write this, and or I don't know, and interact, because we share the same Malaysian experience, isn't it? Right? So you can stop me right there. I'm okay with student interact. But here we are peers, okay? We are all learning to write or reading. We are co-readers, right? Of and co-editors, of text. All right. Next. I actually have some animation, so I will say next, meaning just press, okay? So we will start with, and say, Zakir, do you want to take a look? Because I have very nice PPT. I spent 4 hours working on it until 2 a.m. last night. We start with how Malaysian Chinese literature come about. And when we start this story, I have to include Singapore. Okay. Sure. Thank you. Because at that time we are one, isn't it? All right. Next. Thank you. There will be a lot. Next. Yeah, next. Okay, what this? This is the world's earliest Chinese newspaper, actually. Yes, all right, it looks like this. Okay, click. It would be nice if I can click. All right, never mind. So it's called Chinese Monthly Magazine, 查世每月季 all right. Okay, next. Okay, so it lasted only 5 years. Click, click, click. Click and click. All right, so it's published in my hometown, Malacca, at that time by my missionary Milin, and he managed to sustain it. And this is important archive material, you know, for the whoever to go back to where it is. However, this one orang Masaleh kan, orang Barat is a missionary. So and you can know what they are interested. They are interested to know anthropology. They are interested to know the masyarakat, the society. Next slide. Next slide. And I show you a little bit of their writing. Click. One click, please. You have to be following me. Click. Because I have a lot, yes. So what happened is, this is a very cute one. Actually, the missionary walk around, live with the people, and this text, this essay is about, there was a procession, and at that time, I think, some of you, there is a smallpox goddess worship. I think it's Shitala, right? So, and he took note of it. Like, then he described in detail what happened. Interesting, right? Okay, next. So this is from the foreigners, perspective. What about Chinese people? Okay, but it started from the mainland China consul, yeah? Like today's, it will be like ambassadors, the delegates, you know. So this Zhuo Pinglong, and the next, actually there were two consuls that were sent by the Qing Empire. At that time, they stationed in Singapore. So, and he wrote the old school, the classical type of poetry, you know, like with the rhyme one. Okay, not the modern, of course. And a lot of Nanyang, Malacca, Singapore, Penang, and there are other places also, right? Okay. Then we, appointed as, and then he started something called Hui Xian She. It's the first Chinese literary society in Southeast Asia. All right, so he has a gathering like this, and then get people, and then share the poetry mostly lah. Okay, and newspaper by the Chinese. Just now we are talking about the British, right? So this Si You Le is a Baba, is a straight Chinese, the 5th generation born locally. Born locally here is Singapore. So it's not from China. It's different perspective altogether. So he founded Lat Po. Lat is Salat lah, straight, you know. And I show you the picture, please. Lat Po. Okay, the earliest surviving archive we can find is 19 August 1887. And there are many. Actually, after that, there is a website in my class. They went to survey, you know, like all the earliest newspaper. There are many. Okay, Hsinchu and Nanyang actually is a what do you call that? The earlier version of Okay, so this picture, if you Google, you can always get See You Live in the Sun and the newspaper. Okay, thanks. Next. All right, news about the demise of See You Live, and this is a proof. Click of when he passed away. They were saying, See You Live, the editor and proprietor of Lat Po Press. You see? All right. Okay, next. This is one of the website, and there are other, how the newspaper look like. You can see the advertisement. Each of it, actually, if this one I cannot scroll because it's screenshot. It has a different date, and you are so amazed. Actually, last time these resources can be accessed very easily, but now Singapore quickly own it, NUS. So you have to register to NUS, and I was a bit mad about it because actually it's a shared resources of us. Now okay, next. Okay, this is a list. It's okay about the Chinese, but it gives very detailed from just now Chinese monthly newspaper, 1815, and then Latpo, and then other newspaper. Okay, click, click, click. Okay, from here, someone has done this table. We can see where Sinchu comes, and so on. Sinchu dailies and so on. Click. Next. Okay. Fast forward, 2024, because we only have less than 1 hour now. Okay. So Malaysian Chinese literary icons. Okay, from here, I'm going to inform you who are the icons, what are their works, and a little bit on the themes. And if you are interested, you can probe into it later during the Q&A. All right, you can see this one about tiger, about the monkey, about the, like elephants and so on. Click, click. Okay. Okay, the elephant herds was translated into Japanese, and I knew it was translated into probably Spanish because someone commented from the land of South America. I forgot which country, so I knew it has a translation. And so this author, click, is called Chang Kui Sing, click, all right? And yeah, he wrote widely about our North Borneo. The tropical jungle and a lot of imagination about the post-colonial, situation of the society and so on. And of course, a lot of literary thing. All right, and he won a Manhua Literary Grand Award 2019. Zaki was with me during the award ceremony. Okay. And the winning work was Wild Boars Cross the River. Okay, so it's not so much about the wild boars actually. Yeah, okay. And then, so after winning that, he actually won, I didn't replace, okay, actually another work about crocodile. Okay, he won the Newman Prize in America. So by far, he's probably the, like the top lah among Manhua literature in terms of international recognition. Click. Okay, this is his awarding moment. Click. Okay, click. Okay, can you click, click, click? All right. So we want to know, like for Nobel Prize, what qualifies what warrant the work, right, for attention. So for him, I will just read, right? The uniqueness of Chang's writing lies in its fusion of literary aesthetics and narrative style from the East and the West, because they can see a world, mentality there, something that people write about also, the world experience. His portrayal of the plantations in Borneo reads like a transplant of Faulkner's America South to the Indonesia archipelago. And his stream of consciousness, this one we are aware, right? Okay, for writers, style of narrative traveling between the character psychic and the tropical rainforest terrain, inject Chinese literature with a unique sensory experience. Yeah, you can really travel into his world with his writing, very vivid. Okay, similar to that of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Everyone knows him, right? 100 years. Okay, magic realism. Yeah, we all know about because of his work, right? Okay, in a sense, it is not at all far-fetched to claim that Chang's writing can be read as a unique branch of Chinese literature as world literature. All right, so I wish they put Malaysia here. Okay, next. Okay, now I introduce someone who stays very near Ho Sok Fong. Okay, she was a Utah campus, Kampa campus lecturer, Dr. Ho Sok Fong, but today she's a full-time writer. So this is her, actually she has a new third novel, but this is the second one. All right, like a mirror, translated. Okay, so 2019, Like a Mirror received the English Pen Award And 2020, like a Mirror listed for Warwick Prize for Women in Translation, and Natasha Bush was awarded Pen Translates Award. Next slide. And our Malay male actually picked up Click, and said, oh, this is the first time Malaysian writer, shortlisted for Warwick. And from the publisher about like a Mirror, and actually, Zakir, picked this as we translated, but this is not the whole thing about Hosophone. It has other writers, but we pick up this like a Mirror in Malay, translate. So, so English, Natasha, Malay here, by editor Encik Zakir. So like a Mirror is scintillating exploration of the lives of 9 women, okay, different situation of women, all right? Buffeted by powers beyond their control, squeezing themselves between the gaps of rapid urbanization, patriarchal structure, and a theocratic government. These women find their lives twisted in disturbing ways. Next click. And so it's portraying a world that is people with the ghosts, other hantu pun, all right, of unsaid words, unmanaged desires, and uncertain statuses, surreal and utterly true. Yeah, she has very interesting one, like the wall, talking about an auntie getting thinner and thinner, and you can see her vocal cords, and suddenly she disappears. So, and it's talking about something, right? Definitely, and you have to read to know what is it. Okay, next, click. Okay, I want to introduce King Ban Hui to you. He's the author of this Ririka, the AI girl, all right? He won many awards in the Chinese, Taiwan or China. No translation yet, but I wanted to introduce him because of a bit unique the topic he writes. So these are Malaysian writers, right? Okay, Ban Hui is stationed in Klang Valley. Okay, click. Okay, so he is known for an aesthetic of abandonment. People say very emo lah. His language is always trap you in somewhere and then talk about a lot of things that we, like life found you in a situation you couldn't help. And in this, he actually took some inspiration from the animation, because he is an illustrator and very well exposed to the Japanese, the anime. So he has many plots here. You feel like it's a changing plot, like the anime like that. Okay, moving. And in some of the rooms, it has many rooms and spaces. You can even see the tiger, a little bit of memory from the past, like the community party, because Chinese community, so and so on. And so all this, and then there was a very interesting undertone that what happened is actually he is from personal, he lost a baby, right? So, and he is finding the replacement in this Ririka AI girl. So he now has a girl who can live immortality, So he told the girl he told his girl a lot of stories that he thinks, if I'm not around, you still can carry this story for a long time. And in some of the impressions, right, because it was written during the COVID lockdown, so it also has like rooms with no people, okay, and then some buildings abandoned, people were not around, but Ririka is still around, the AI. So she carries the memory of mankind. So quite interesting, isn't it? So I think he has a great potential. This is his first novel, because before that he's known for his short story. Click. Okay, now we talk a little bit about the translation, because without the translation, there's no way to convey this beyond the Chinese reading community. All right, now I will introduce a lot of figures to you. Lee Yong-ping, and I know Nsé Zakir knows his work. Okay, Lee Yong-ping, we will stop at Lee Yong-ping first. This is his work translated. But one thing I wanted to talk about Lee Yong-ping is about one of the themes that I was discussing with Nsé Zakir a few years back. 1970, before I was born, before some of you were born. Okay, he has one article. It's talk about my mom's village in Sage. My mom's village was attacked. Okay, this is taken from Sarawak, I think. Yeah. So what happened is the Dayak people, ethnic Dayak, they were met with the colonial government, and so they attacked the town or something like that. So, but it's the civilian, the normal people that suffers. So this main character is a young boy, or teenage, or pre-teens, I would say, Pao, and the mother, they have to run away because the town is really not in a good terms. So how they run away? Not by car, not by motorbike. Just now I got motorbike coming from another direction in my way. It's by boat, you know, like, so the mother is not Pao. I think he's too young. The mother was trying to kayo, you know, try to row. However, it was very difficult for them to get, and it's narrated in the Pao's perspective, and it says he even asked the mom, he said, no, at first he was asking the mom, if we keep rolling to the north, are we going back to China? He asked this question. Mom didn't answer. Then, but it was so difficult, it looks like they will not get away anywhere. I don't know, it's upstream, right, or something like that. So at one point, the mom was saying what he was thinking, Pao, why not we turn back? So you can see a U-turn in the team. And this I told Nsé Zakir. I told Nsé Zakir about another story, but he remembers the Lee Yong-ping story. Okay, so what happened is I saw a recurring theme in another way, the U-turn thing. We don't like U-turn, right? But this is like choosing the land, choosing Malaysia as our home, not China, because, yeah, and this is the thing that some people don't understand what the Malaysian Chinese are writing. Okay, we know, we all are informed about the May 13th tragedy. Maybe the young people don't know. Okay, so 1969, the very unfortunate racial riot happened, and many people died and so on. So what happened is for the next 10 years, nobody dared to write. Some people wrote, some daring one wrote, but as far as the Chinese community, it's like, 10 years. For 10 years, nobody dared to mention anything. But in 1982, someone called Ting Yun, now he's a resident or PR in Singapore. Okay, he wrote almost the same title like Yong-ping, Kampung Tebalunggu, village in Sage. This one is not in Sarawak, it's in town. It's like the suburban area, somewhere in Selangor, okay, where the Chinese and Malay are living like neighbors. They are neighbors and they are laborers. They go to work and they don't care which party lah, whatever. And all this appear in the lines like, we just need to go to work, you know, like who cares or kapal, laya, or whatever. At that time, they are party like that. All right? So, and you can see that down to earth, what is important. So what happened? But the riots came, and they can hear the gendang, the whatever, and somehow I also quite a bit funny lah. How people hit the drum when they come and attack you. Anyway, so they knew it's coming, and so this main character, protagonist, Lin Tuo, and the wife, and the old father, they try to run away lah. I don't know where they run to. Run halfway, the father said, no, we have to go back. Why? I lupa Changko. I forgot, you know, the Changko. And so you can see the attachment to the land. He has to go back because he thinks without that he cannot get, you know, his He cannot bring bread to the table. So they went back, lor. Went back. Then the noise is, they're coming very, very near already. They knew it's right there already. So they, off the line, or whatever, hide under the table. That's the last place you want to hide. So, and then they're very, very scared. So what happened is some people show up basically at the door already. Then actually it was their neighbor, Malay neighbor, saying, "You got food or not?" People are hungry, People, yeah. So it ends like that. So in the end, what do you think? What do you get from the story? Isn't it a nice twist, a humanity twist to whatever, discourse out there? And this Village in Sage article won Tong Bao, Chinese, one of the Chinese dailies, first prize. I don't know how many thousand. Just now I heard you all give quite lucrative award, to the young writers. So maybe 8,000, or don't know. Anyway, but she was asked to remove certain lines, maybe a little bit more sensitive, but too sensitive or what at that time, because nobody dared to write even about any clashes between any group, Anyway, so I saw a recurring theme, 1970, Lee Yong-ping, U-turn. And then, where do we go to the north, or is this the land? Okay, and in Ding Yun's one also, instead of running away, okay, in critical time, we stay back with our chanko. Yeah, because this is our land. We are going to till the land, and we are going to continue here. Okay, next person you already know, Changkui Singh, click, click. Okay, this is his translator work. Next. Okay, I need to introduce you to the, this is a trending author. Everyone is writing about her right now. Okay, Li Zisu. Okay, this is a short story anthology. And because for Mahua literature, so far we don't have many novels. I'm not too sure about the Malaysian Indian. A lot of it are poetry, prose, and short stories. And you know the limitation, because a lot of these people are having a job and just write because of passion and find sponsor to publish. And that's the situation. And that's why any literary award, people will go for it, because got a bit of motivation, and maybe get published for free. Okay, so Ng Kim Chiu, Slow Boat to China, also anthology. Hello? Yeah, click, please. Thank you. Next. Okay, click, click. Okay, Ho Sok Fong, you already know her. Click, click. Okay, now Hai Fan. Hai Fan is because of he was a former Communist Party member. So for some reason, he has to be not in Thailand, but in Singapore. Okay, so he doesn't travel much because he has some health situation. So he's click, click. This year, click. Okay, his Delicious Hunger by very experienced writer Jeremy Tiang. Actually, Singapore produced many very, very good translators. And for him, go back to the slide just now. Okay, you would think a lot of memories about this party communist member might be more sympathetic or whatever. Actually, it was the other way around. A lot of them are writing about the frustration of why my father has another woman in the jungle never come back, and about the cruelty and so on. Very surprised, right? And that is because there are many victims also, from the Chinese community, not to mention the New Village treatment of Chinese people during that time by the colonial government. But Hai Fan one is, he is not the only one, but a very, very few who was a former party community member who survived. And he talked about, not too much about politics. You want to see all those juicy, you cannot see. You can only see how he survived, okay? how they put the small dynamite to make fish, like blown up, and then these are our meals, like that. And then so happy when they can get a wild boar. They will, carry back, today we got food, something like that. And then how they hide, and then how they live, and then a little bit of conversation. Yeah, Encik Zakir have seen the Malay manuscript, which is not published yet. Hopefully, I don't know, someone will publish it. Yeah, it's very interesting. And Haifan can draw very well. He drew what they used to capture fish, this and that. A lot of drawings, which actually is more interesting than scary at all, of his book. Next. Delicious Hunger. Okay, next. Okay, we talk about Li Zisu. I have a conversation with her New York, actually Malaysian, but currently residing in New York, YZ Chin. All right, is working on her very bestseller right now, very well-acclaimed novel. Click. Okay, this is YZ Chin's conceived title, This Time Won't Land. Before this, there are many translations of the work, but the most popular one is The Worldly Land. Okay, The Worldly Land. And you can see this is a Malaysian cover because this book is selling like hotcake in China with another cover. Same content though. Okay, so Li Zisu was the winner. Just now you remember Chang Kui Sing was the 15th and she is the 16th. Every 2 years we have the big grand prize, Malay Manhwa literature sponsored by Sinchu Zippo. This one is recognized in the region. Yeah. Next. Okay. During the lockdown, Japan Foundation has featured her campaign called Notice of Closure. Okay. Have to close shop, lor. So you can imagine the story, lah. So translated into Japanese. Okay. Another click. Okay, so she was Li Zisu. Right now she's residing in US because she married an American. Okay, click. So she was invited to Duke University and Harvard University, and until that point, I think the book was translated as not there, is it? The Worldly Land. Okay, and the Age of Goodbyes is a post-May 13th tragedy writing. So there is no gory description because she is born. She's born 1971, born after the tragedy. So what we have is a post-memory, right? So it's a post-memory writing about how people, the aftermath, how people continue to live on. So it's interesting in the Age of Goodbyes is a metafiction, fiction between fiction, you all heard of metafiction? So, and one of the story, because it has many frames, right? One of the stories, the protagonist is called Tulian. There are many Tulians in different frames. Okay, there's also a fashionable one at the end who got literally award, but that one, it also has some message inside. The one who got recognized was writing in English, then translated back into Chinese. That's how she got. So she's trying to say something lah. It's not like you get awarded because of your Chinese, but your English. Okay, so Tu Lian was a ticket girl. She was selling ticket, all right, at the cinema. But then the cinema got attacked, isn't it? And she was rescued by a kind of head of something or something like that. So he married him. This was one of the story. But at the end, many things happened. So it started with for this story, started with a crisis, but ended with a baby born. Okay? And to celebrate it, there was 88 tables, a banquet. Chinese like 8, right? 8, right? So you see, it also ends with people getting married and having family, even though difficult. So I see it is like how shall we live? Even though there's some incident in the past, in the last generation. So we find some contemporary ones and different age. You know, we can see different things they are tackling. So quickly, right? So 7 short stories, 7 writing styles, 7 way of approaching Malaysian Chinese literature. Okay, and hopefully if you are interested, this is in Malay. You definitely can read. Okay, you can get a copy. It's not expensive. Okay, later. Okay, quick. Okay, there are seven stories. Quick. Hello. Yeah, thank you. Continue until the third one, 4, 3, 6, 7. Thank you. Okay, stop there. Huh? Okay, Tan Cheng Sing, he is in his 70s. So he wrote about an abandoned building in Bukit Mertajam. A lot of abandoned buildings are haunted, right? Why? Because of the World War II, isn't it? Some military guy killing people inside the building. But it started in this story. The Chinese version is like a very simplistic cover. But then the story, when you read, it's like, oh, as in I feel like that story. Okay, so what happened is, actually it started as a building, was it Hokkien? I also forgot. Hokkien, Satuan Hokkien. The Hokkien Society or something, you know, self-help. They had the building to provide education to the young people. So it started with a dream, you know, and then they hire someone from China, Fujian, bring over the teacher, one teacher only. Then things happen. Then do not know why. There was a story that this teacher never leaves that building. So become like there's always one eye looking. You know, even the Japanese were killing people. Okay, nothing against the Japanese. I'm just talking about the World War II. All right. So and so on. So it's a nice story. You're going to read. So because of his experience in writing, so he can come up with a very seasoned, you know, that kind of tone of telling story. And because Tan Cheng Sing had very he has a lot of award, and one is given by NTU Singapore, okay, because he is famous as the writer of Bukit Mertajam, right? A lot of story there. So today that building is still there. And this building, somewhere in the story, he will say every time people want to walk, they have to go around the building. And as if it's a symbolism, as if whenever you talk about all this story, you retelling the story in the past, you have to go around it because there are things that you might not be ready to deal with. Something like that. That's what my take is. Okay, Ng Kim Chiu, Hujan Rogai, Brazil is imagine Chin Peng, who born the Great, who's not supposed to come back to Malaysia, but ultimately want to come back. Why he was dying to come back? Because he wanted to perform the worship at the cemetery of the parents. That's the story about it and something else. So Li Zisu, Ho Su Fong, Kasek Itu. We are the only one who own the Malay translation of the short story. We are very proud of it. Okay, and actually Li Zisu talked to me, and she said she is famous everywhere else, but she wanted to at least, you know, have Malaysians reading her work. So she has approached me, and probably will approach Encik Rakil, you know, for Malay translation of her, just now the time-worn lamp, you know, the one that is selling like hotcake right now. Okay, because it's the story about Ipoh, and it's very lively. It talks about the gossipful neighbor, and then at one time, nobody has TV except the a little bit affordable. So everyone, all the neighbor at certain time will all gather outside the window and watch for free. You know, you can imagine. And then they are vendors, going around ting ting ting, selling things. These are things that I don't know your generation, but our generation you'll remember. It's a Malaysian life. And then the neighbor, very gossipful and things like that. These are the Ipoh life Ipoh life come alive. All right, and people stay in those low-cost public, flats. So things like that. King Bamburi, this short story he later developed into the novel expanded in. So the starter, if you want to see, you can read here. Actually, Chelsea Blue is a good one, and Siraki really likes it. Chelsea Blue won the first prize for short story category for Hua Zhong just now, the Sinchu Jipo Award. And Tai Xiaohua, Bapulang Ramahula, this is Chinese Muslim burial anecdote, is it? Okay, next. Alright, over this book, I'm showing you all the pictures. Continue to click this. Alright, these are the 7 authors. Alright, okay, thank you. Next. I'm ending almost here already. So this actually a lot more can be discussed. But your understanding of the novel, the short story, some themes and some people, and some of the translators. Okay, so Ellison Group has a series of talks and articles about Malaysian Chinese. Interestingly, she is based in Australia, but I really like what she coined it: Malaysian Chinese literature not made in China. And feel engaged so much, But Encik Zakir were like, wow, this is our story, isn't it? Even though it's written by, a Chinese neighbor, and I believe there are many things we can learn from the Tamil writers as well. And one of the latest academic work about Malaysian Chinese is Malaysian Gothic by next door, our Singapore scholar. And I have some books to show you. Okay. From the older, I will start from the one of the oldest. This one, Encik Zakir wrote the preface, Lupoye. This is one of the earliest writers who have written. And so even from there, you can see dari ethnic ke bangsa. So there is some conceptualization of who we are here, right? In this book. This is an academic book by a master student. And these are, the compilation of some earliest, handwritten manuscript by authors. And it's published like a school magazine. Actually, if we throw it a better, it can be a better book. But as far as academic, it's enough already for, archiving materials. And so some of the patriarchs in the 70s, 80s are still around, Tan Chen Sing, okay? So who contributed to the first story that we collected here, all right? Just Bangunan Tiga Tingkat. And then, just now I talked about the literary award, right? Mahua Literature by Sinchu Jipo. So every 2 years they have one. So this is the collection, the 15, and then now they have the 16. I don't know if it's out yet or not. I haven't seen it on shelf. And just now we talked about Ho Sok Fung. This is the original book. You can see I take a lot. Okay, and the English translation. And 2015. Actually, I think back in 1979. There are already people trying to introduce sci-fi, the idea of writing sci-fi, like science fiction, to the Malaysian Chinese writers by Prof. T. Okay, in Chao Fu, there's a literary magazine, but then it didn't kick. All right, but 2015, a group of, this is Cyrus community, all right? Cyrus Poetry Society or whoever. Now nobody care already. You can write any style, isn't it? And sometimes you have a twist like real, but suddenly, magic realism, suddenly got whatever. So a group of a poet day, World's Poet Day or something like that, they said, we want to write sci-fi poetry. And it's quite interesting. They are still around, all right? And one of them, because old age, now every year, right, have to go check up. And one of his heart checkup, right? And he was looking at the, whatever, what do you call that? The graphs. And he has imagination. He was thinking of the aliens, coming down to Earth, and then they in the Egypt, with the pyramid, and then don't know what. Suddenly he he can transfer through time and space, and a lot of things happen. Quite interesting, and this is like a poet in the 70s writing modernist poetry like that. I'm like, my student is like, couldn't see that. I said, couldn't you see that? Where did this pyramid came from? That graph lah. Of course, he didn't write the graph, but she doesn't understand. I'm like, this one, sure. I know where this is written. And when we checked with the writer, yes, it was during his medical check. Yeah. Okay. This is currently doing his PhD in South California University. It's a university that you can watch any Hollywood film for free. Okay, he is there. So anyway, he doesn't have time to watch a lot of movies. It's a poet. This is one of his anthology. He's called Tian Jing. Okay, but I picked him up because he founded something which I think is very interesting. Today we are struggling about AI writing, right? And he has a digital poetry magazine, but it's not AI, it's like human. So he believed like from the onset, we have poetry through the oral tradition. So he said, why not we produce poetry in the sound? Okay, so his poetry magazine it's not for the stomach or everyone. It's only those who can. During you do the gym, you just listen to the poetry. It's all sound only. Sound effect.
Audio format.
Yes, audio format. It's the recital, either by the poet or someone, with some effects. You can hear waves, you can hear the seagull, you have piano or saxophone, or okay, but they are very scary one, make you very, very scary also. Depending on what the person is depicting. So that is interesting, and we are talking about digital manhua already. So, and I'm like, oh, this is a non-AI digital idea of literature, which is quite interesting, right? So he and a group of people are working on it, and I sponsor them a little bit through my grant. Yeah. Okay, and this is an AI team as well, by Kim Man Hui, and the short story anthology that we managed to present. We worked very hard on it, even though we are very slow, but we are very proud of our work. So with this, I hand the time back to Chair. Thank you.
Dr. Florence, I'm really impressed. You did amazing work today. Just give her a round of applause. A louder one.